The girl was secretly photographed by the media while on a date with her longtime idol. To protect his career, the idol's agency released an official statement, falsely branding her as an obsessive Sasang fan who had been hounding him. After the scandal broke, Lee Kin was figuring out how to minimize the harm done to Doolin. Unexpectedly, his agency issued the statement without his consent, shifting all blame onto her. Lee Kin demanded an immediate revision of the statement, but his agent warned him this was the fastest way to calm the controversy. The damage was already done, any public explanation from him would only make matters worse. Meanwhile, seeing their dating photos, Xiaoji finally realized Lee Kin was the man Doolin had always liked. When she once said she joined a below for someone, that someone had been Lee Kin. All along, he had only indulged in one-sided fantasies, misreading Doolin's feelings for him. Back home, he threw away the bottle of red wine that stood witness to his self-delusion. Following the agency's statement, Doolin was dragged into a storm of public opinion. Online abuse flooded in. Netizens accused her of scheming to get close to Lee Kin with ulterior motives. Some even claimed she was more dangerous than a stalker. The next day when Doolin arrived at work, white funeral wreaths were piled up at the company gate. Crowds of fans gathered outside, demanding her dismissal. Even her colleagues looked at her with contempt. As protests intensified, the company's customer service lines crashed, severely disrupting normal business operations. Management held an emergency meeting and pressed Xiaoji to come up with a solution. Faced with mounting pressure, Xiaoji insisted on getting the full facts before making any decision. Doolin opened the official account for the weaving project and saw comment sections flooded with demands to fire her and boycotts against a below. Overwhelmed by the trouble she had brought to the company, she fled to the warehouse and wept alone. Soon the marketing manager came to fetch her. Xiaoji was waiting for her in his office. Xiaoji wanted to hear the truth firsthand. He asked whether she had taken the job at Apollo for Lee Kin, and whether the man she liked was Lee Kin. Doolin stopped hiding the truth. She confessed she had long been Lee Kin's fan and had indeed joined Apollo because of him, yet she was never a Sasang fan, and she had already ended her romantic relationship with him. She handed over her prepared resignation letter. By stepping down voluntarily, she believed fan boycotts would stop. It was the only thing she could do for the company. Xiaoji refused the resignation and told her to stay home on standby for the time being. Doolin looked out at the furious protesting fans and dared not step outside. She finally steeled herself and pushed the door open. The crowd spotted her instantly. Clickbait influencers swarmed to interview her amid non-stop jeers from fans. At this critical moment, her two best friends charged through the crowd and tried to get her away. One enraged fan hurled eggs at her while cursing. Xiaoji suddenly rushed over and shielded her. He sternly warned everyone to stop attacking Doolin, or they would face police intervention. Her friend seized the chance and pulled her to safety, bringing the chaos to a temporary end. Back home, her friends tried every means to comfort her, yet Doolin could not relax, constantly worrying about online public opinion and the company's situation. She locked herself in her room and checked online posts, only to find all the abusive and fabricated Sasangfan accusations had vanished. Xiaoji had enlisted his lawyer friend. Working together, they filed legal complaints against every slanderous and harassing post until all harmful content was taken down. Exhausted, Xiaoji returned home, only to find Lee Kin waiting at his doorstep. When Lee Kin asked about Doolin, Xiaoji could no longer hold back his anger. He reproached Lee Kin for keeping everything from him, dragging Doolin into public outrage and endangering Apollo. Lee Kin retorted that Xiaoji had never truly treated him as a close friend either. He had learned about Xiaoji's mother's accident from others, and Xiaoji had given no honest answer when asked about his feelings for Doolin. True friends should not keep so many secrets from one another. Neither man could convince the other, and they parted on bitter terms. Fan protests persisted. They vowed to keep boycotting Apollo unless Doolin was fired. Fearing severe reputational damage, investors collectively pressured Xiaoji to dismiss her at once. Remaining calm and firm, Xiaoji told them the company must not discard a competent employee merely because of public outcry. Doolin had delivered excellent work since hiring, and there was no legitimate reason to fire her. As company representative, he would bear full responsibility. Doolin had no idea that in order to keep her job, Xiaoji was risking his own career. At home, she received a phone call from the master weaver, who asked about the event progress. She said nothing about her ordeal and only reported the work earnestly. She compiled the master's requests and feedback into a document and sent it to Xiaoji. Later, Doolin could not help going to the company gate. Through the glass, she watched Xiaoji arranging work methodically inside and got lost in the moment. Just then, two colleagues from the weaving project spotted her and pulled her into a nearby cafe. They told her how much they missed her and complained that many details of the weaving event were unclear without her around. Doolin briefed them on what needed to be handled. Even if she could not return, she hoped the event would be a complete success. After parting with her colleagues, Doolin headed home with mixed feelings, only to find Xiaoji standing at her doorway. Worried about her and missing her, he had unconsciously walked all the way here. Doolin thought he had come to inform her of her dismissal. She told him not to spare her feelings, assuring him she would be fine. Xiaoji hated seeing her put on a brave face after being wronged. Blurting out his true feelings in the heat of the moment, he grew flustered and fled on the spot. Duolin felt her heart pounding wildly. She jotted down in her notebook that Xiaoji had shown up at her door tonight. As she flipped back through old entries, she was shocked to find nearly every daily note revolved around him. Only then did she realize she had already fallen for Xiaoji. Meanwhile, following Xiaoji's request, Li Kan tracked down the reporter who had leaked the dating scandal. He found out the reporter had taken bribes from Li Kan's ex-girlfriend, deliberately photographing his date with Duolin and publishing the photos. Li Kan presented evidence of the bribery and forced the reporter to run a story clearing Duolin of the Sasangfan accusation, or he would expose the reporter's misconduct to the public. To make the retraction more credible, the reporter arranged a live interview for Li Kan. On camera, Li Kan explained that Duolin was no Sasangfan, merely an ordinary longtime supporter and also his co-worker. He begged the public to stop attacking her. Convinced by his words, fans called off the days-long protests. At the same time, the Master Weaver visited Apollo. Though Duolin was absent, the Master was highly satisfied with the event she had planned. He asked Xiaoji to pass along praise for her excellent work. Staring at the hand-knotted cord woven by Duolin, Xiaoji recalled their sweet trip up the mountain to learn weaving, and his longing for her deepened. Shortly afterward, the marketing manager visited Duolin's home. He told her everyone now knew she was not a Sasang and urged her to come back to work as soon as possible. Still traumatized by the whole incident, Duolin feared she would bring more trouble to the company. She could not deny her original motives for joining Apollo had been impure. The marketing manager reassured her that admiring an idol and following in their footsteps was not wrong. He confessed he was also a fan of Li Kan and the well-known powerful fan club leader. He too had come to Apollo influenced by Li Kan. With time, however, he had learned that what truly mattered was whether you genuinely loved your job and cared for your team. Moved by his words, Duolin teared up and admitted she wanted to return, yet worried she would put Xiaoji in an awkward position. The manager revealed he had come on Xiaoji's behalf. He handed her a knotted cord sent by the master and told her to read Apollo's newly released official statement. Duolin opened her phone. In his capacity as company representative, Xiaoji formally announced that the company had verified Duolin was not a Sasang fan but a diligent, outstanding employee. Apollo would no longer tolerate any slander or threats against her, and she would remain on staff. Having read the statement, Duolin could no longer hold back her feelings for Xiaoji. Grabbing the knotted cord, she rushed straight to his apartment. She confessed she never wanted to resign. She missed her work, her colleagues, and most of all, him.